Hello, this is Sonja from My Happy Space. Welcome back at my channel. Today I'm going to continue in my junk journal July, which is hosted by Mech Journals. It's a 31-day prompt. And today I'm going to attempt prompt number 8 and 9, which is wallpaper and classing patterns. But I'm going to interpret the last prompt a little bit differently, as you will see later. That is the beauty of these prompts. It's just a jumping off point to spark your creativity. So I'm going to start with the wallpaper. Now, this is some antique wallpaper I once picked up from a craft store. I don't know how antique it is. Might be only 80s, but I was just so happy to pick it up because wallpaper is not so readily available here in South Africa. They are quite expensive, and yeah, I don't think lots of people have caught on the trend of wallpaper, so many of them anyway. So I picked it up in a little craft store, and I just love it. I wish actually they had a little bit more botanical flowers. So what I'm going to do is I'm just really going to cut these elements out, these beautiful roses, and I think there's a sort of a purple deep blue flower also. Don't actually know what flower that is. I think I know the Afrikaans word, but not the English word for it. So let me know if you know what that blue flower is. So yeah, I've just cut it out, and then I'm going to use some of my doilies, which I also have available in my Etsy shop. I've got a doily pack with various colors, so this is some of them. So I gravitated towards these deep green because it reminded me of my color palette, which I did in my setup video. And yet again, I'll link it up here and also at the bottom if you're interested to see how I set up my booklet. So I've just used half of the doily. Unfortunately, the other half I've used already, and I didn't want it to print now a whole sheet of doilies off just for that one color. So I'm just working around what I have. I decided I'm going to go for the blues and the greens because the pinks wasn't 100% the right pink I wanted. Yet again, I didn't really feel like printing out go into my computer and print some new ones off while I had all these which is already printed out. So I was working with what I have. So as you can see, I'm just placing these beautiful flowers in different ways, and I like to cut off doilies and let it hang off the edge and put the element on there. And I'm just also let these stems also hang off there. I was a bit sort of, I didn't really know what to do with that blue flower. It somehow just didn't look nice to me when I put it in the middle. It just felt to me it was squeezed in there. But then as you can see, I let it hang off the edge. And then I was inspired by the pattern paper. It had these faint green polka dots on the wallpaper. So I thought, why don't I recreate this by using a straw? And I just dip it into this beautiful green, which I've actually used quite a lot lately. So yeah, I've sort of tried to recreate it. This is just a simple spread. I knew what I wanted to do for my classing or contrasting patterns was a little bit more intense. I wanted to do mixed media, so I thought let's keep this one fairly simple. And now I'm just going to yet again with my alpha type stamps. I'm just typing out their wallpaper and number 8, sorry, prompt number 8. And then I've decided just to put it with some washi tape there, just to create a little bit of interest. And I've just used some green and pink washi tape that I had in my stash. So as I said, this is fairly simple. Now we're going to try to attempt prompt number 9. Now you can see I've made the pocket with that beautiful pink material, and the contrasting or the classing, I actually rather wanted to go for contrasting than classing. I don't particularly think it class very well, but I want to make a very, very grungy vintage tag with mixed media. Now, if I was going to put something in that pink pattern or pink pocket, I would have probably put a nice tag with a pink element, a rose or something like that in there, just to fit in with that pink material pocket. But because it's classing patterns, or for me contrasting patterns, I thought I'm going to go for this grungy tag. So I'm just using some mixed media paper, which I backed with some cardstock. Now, unfortunately, I forgot to switch my camera on, so sorry about that. But what I'm trying to show you here is I just cut the tag, obviously, and then I use various vintage paper like music seats and things like that and dictionary just to cover it. And I've put some gesso on over just to actually I adhere it with gel medium. And now I'm just looking for a focus element, a focus point. Now yet again, an if I wasn't going for contrasting or classing patterns, I would have gone for something pink that stands out. But because I want to make this very grungy, I decided to keep everything very neutral. So it is really a classing or contrasting pattern against that pink material pockets. So now I'm going in with white gesso just to dull it down a little bit, and I want to create a little bit of textures on there. So I'm using this masking tape, which is actually so old it doesn't really want to work anymore, and I'm just putting it in various places on the tag, and I'm crumble it or grunt it up, so when later it will create some texture. Now this little bag is supposed to, you put I think your onions or something like that in there, but it was on a sale and it was next to nothing. Obviously nobody wanted it in the shop, so I picked it up because I thought it would looked very nice. It's almost like cheesecloth, but obviously a little bit more grungier. So I've decided to cut that up and put it at various places. Yet again, I just adhere it with my gel medium. I just gone back into that masking tape that just doesn't want to stick. And I've decided to put this cloth or whatever you call it, little bag, I put it at 3 places just to go for the 3 points, as we all as artists always try to do. It is just better on the eye if there's 3 points of interest. Now at the moment you can't really see very much of it, but later I'll color it in, not color it in, bring the color a little bit more out. So now I'm going over it with gesso, but in hindsight I should have done gel medium over it, because gel medium gives you a nice ground to work on, especially if you're going to use mixed media. So later when I go with my water soluble crayons, you will see it's different. Now here I show you, I actually went to a very cute craft shop here in Cape Town, and I picked up I think I said Faber Castell new water soluble crayons, and I picked up one of them because they sold them it separately, and I just showed you the difference between these Reeves one. They do exactly the same, but these Reeves one is much fatter and shorter. And yeah, I've just actually never realized that. But yeah, I will test that pink one out shortly. But obviously today I wanted to keep to grungy colors because, as I said, I'm trying to do a classing or contrasting pattern. So I'm going in with various greens, or this one dark green, which I wanted to continue my color scheme also for this booklet. And then I'm going with yellows and browns, as I said, because I didn't put a gel medium over just to give it a sort of foundation. It just, yeah, I don't know, somehow, although with the gesso it should also give you a nice foundation, but somehow some of these or the solubers was working better than others. Now I recently bought this alcohol ink because I got these light bulb pins, and somebody suggested to me I must get some alcohol inks to rust it up and make it a little bit older. I actually haven't tried to do it yet, so I will let you know how that works. So you've seen various people using this alcohol inks just to color things in. I don't know if I've done it correctly. I've just spilled it on there, but then I went into a wet wipe just to spread the color a little bit so it's not this blob. So let me know how I can use this alcohol ink. Yeah, on my mixed media. I probably might go and watch some videos. I'm sure somebody has a video about how to use alcohol inks in your mixed media. But yeah, I'm going to fix that later by putting little distress oxide ink or this brown ink on top of it also, just to make it a little bit more cohesive, as you see now. So I've just done my edges of this tag, and now I'm just going in with this bird cage also, make the edges so it stands out a little bit. Yeah, so because I said under normal circumstances I probably would have chosen something more bright to put as a focal point on that tag, but because I wanted to keep it grungy, I just go for all these grungy colors. I love how it turned out at the end. I'm trying to improve my mixed media, so I hope, yeah, I've learned quite a lot today. So I'm just going in with these other elements I've chosen, and I make them more grungy because the color of it just didn't work very nicely to me together. So I'm just pinning it on because it was difficult to adhere with all this texture background. And yet again, I'm going with my offer stamp, and I'm just going to put their classing patterns and prompt number 9. So I hope you enjoyed watching me how I put these two interpretations together. Yeah, if you like this video, please give it a like. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. I'd love to have you as part of this family. Yeah, and please press the notification button so you can see all my other videos. So yes, I love how this tag turned out. I'm quite impressed with it, I must say. I definitely, as I said, want to improve my mixed media skills, and the only way you can do it is by practicing. So I'm just popping it in there to show you the classing or contrasting patterns. So you must have a fantastic weekend, and I'll probably talk to you on Monday again. And in the meantime, I'll leave you with some close-up photos. Bye-bye.